Ta-da! Here we go! We're asking you, America.
Love it, love it, love it. Alright, high five myself. Stop.
Hey everyone!
Hey guys!
I'm Em.
I'm Des.
And this is Salt. Welcome to this week's installment of Keeping It Salty. We are going to be discussing the trials and tribulations and the celebrations of Thanksgiving.
Alright, and we did a lot of research on this topic and we found a lot of conflicting information, but I think the bigger picture here is that Thanksgiving is meant to be a holiday celebrating peace and unity between people.
Interesting, considering the times we're in.
The message is great and all, but the Thanksgiving that we learned in elementary school left out some pretty huge chunks of history. First of all, there was Squanto, who was like the Pilgrims' BFF, who helped them and also knew English, but that's only because he was taken to England to be a slave.
After Squanto and the rest of his buddies helped out the Pilgrims, they were invited to this feast. This 3-day festival was partially a celebration of a plague that was brought on by an earlier group of Englishmen that wiped out nearly 90% of the Native American population. The Pilgrims believed this was an act of God, making way for their superior people to inhabit this new land. And they actually included that theory into their festival toast while Squanto and all his buddies were there just trying to have a good time.
That group never called that festival Thanksgiving. Another group of settlers, who were the worst, massacred 700 Native Americans and then hosted a Thanksgiving for celebration. Various colonies continued to celebrate this way after many massacres, until finally George Washington was like, calm the fuck down. You only get one Thanksgiving a year, you bunch of psychopaths.
Also, Native Americans were commonly referred to as savages, but it was the English who nearly wiped out their entire population with disease and guns, so who are the real savages here?
Speaking of savages, here is one thing that the average American can plan to have on their Thanksgiving menu. Turducken.
What the fuck?
Yes, turducken. For those not intimately acquainted with the turducken, this consists of a deboned chicken stuffed inside a deboned duck stuffed inside a deboned turkey. And then each layer is padded with stuffing. But it doesn't stop there. Some chefs have taken the recipe and made it bigger, the American way, by adding a small pig into the mix. It essentially swallows the turducken whole.
This sounds like something I could picture coming to life and greeting me upon my entrance to hell.
One thing's for sure, the Pilgrims definitely did not have such a meal at their Thanksgiving.
No turducken?
No problem.
These Pilgrims knew how to turn up and stay up. One day of feasting ain't enough for these party animals, and no, they had 3 whole days of feasting and raging.
There's hearsay that they played a game where a man takes a bar of metal, runs with it, and then throws it. That was the whole game.
They were also likely to be drinking beer because it was safer to drink than water, so the turn-up was pretty real for the parents and the children. No one had to sneak booze at these festivals.
We're just salty that this 3-day celebration had to be shortened to a 1-day affair. But I mean, considering how awkward everyone's families are, maybe this was a good call.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's hard to say, oh, happy Thanksgiving, but be sure you know your history. But also, that's not what we celebrate in Thanksgiving anymore. But also know that the Pilgrims were bad and they did not believe in finders keepers.
So we're not gonna say that. Let's all just be sure to acknowledge some shit that we weren't taught in school about our nation's history that we definitely need to know. Then continue the feasting because stress eating is real and so is guilt eating.
And it's our cheat day.
And be thankful for those who are able to be sitting around your table this year.
A very happy, salty Thanksgiving.
And please, for the love of Squanto, do not eat a fucking turducken.
Ugh.